great night, my kings and queens. Wake up and be authentic. On a don't know, it's a girl authentic, Queen Simone. Come for drop some authentic spiritual reasoning at the night here, so I could just go straight up into it. Now, tonight, I'm going to talk about a very important topic. It is very sensitive. Um, Thought-provoking. It is a topic that is affecting a lot of us in society and the way we behave and the way we carry ourselves. All because of this one thing. All because of this one thing. And the topic I'm going to talk about is your self-worth is buried under your childhood trauma. Let me repeat. Your self-worth is buried under your childhood trauma. This is a topic that I wanted to talk about a long time, but I feel like now is the right time to just talk about it. Too much is happening right now. So I could just go into it. So I know a lot of us might say the thing with the dancehall artist girl called Lisa Hyper. And I am looking at the situation from a different perspective, from a spiritual perspective, not from a perspective as what most persons will see it as. But there's an underlying meaning in what is going on with her. When I listen to what she's saying, and I look, as I don't really pay attention to enough of the comments, I was just paying attention to what she was saying. And she is a perfect example of what is going on and taking place in our society where our childhood trauma is concerned, the way we behave, the way we act, and what happened to us, the betrayal and the anger. So I was listening to her. I put aside the fact that they're saying that she's mad or whatever, and she's this and she's that. I was just looking into the situation from a different perspective. So she have a mental breakdown. And in other words, they call it mental illness, the diagnosis, some people say madness, all of that. But in her thing that she was saying that she fell in love with this individual that she was referring to, the artist guy. She said she knew him from she was 5 years old, right? And she used to teeth out her anti-cigarettes and give him at 5. So basically, all she talking, it look like say he was the one who really took her maiden. He groomed her. Now, here's the thing now. She looked like she got through a whole heap of things in that relationship. Based on how she's talking, she got through a lot of abuse and all of that. But the question is, why do we always go back to the things that hurt us? She keep on going back to her abuser. According to her, she was abused. So she keep on going back to the abuser. So she's hating the abuser, she's loving the abuser, and then she come back, she said she apologized, and she come back and she said all of that because she have something that is called Stockholm syndrome. Her self-worth is so damaged, she can't even see herself beyond that man. Whosoever she said hurt her. Now, this is happening to a lot of us in society. We get hurt, we get battered, we get bruised, but we still keep on going back to the abuser because we are trauma bonding. It feels familiar to us. It is wrong, but we keep on going back because of the weakness and because of the illness that I wouldn't call it an illness, because of the Stockholm syndrome. And society guilt us to believe that we should always go back to our abuser. Them have some little saying where say, old fire stick easy for catch. You know them little way they stick to the old and don't go to the new. You know them kind of little sayings, and these things are embedded in our mindset from a child. Now persons are laughing at her. Don't laugh off of people when they see them come out. Try to understand what they're saying. She's having a mental breakdown. Everything that is affecting her, she's talking. A lot of persons don't even get to talk. They commit suicide. Notice when somebody go through a mental breakdown, even we, normal human being, when we're going through a mental breakdown or we get upset, sometimes in the anger we talk the truth, the things that we battle inside of us. But society tell us to silence our voice. Don't talk about it. Why are you talking about your business, talking about your story? Sometimes talking about something is a cry for help. But sometimes you go vent to one individual and then take it tell you. And them trace you. No, we keep on going back to our abusers because of the titles. The titles are the barriers, my authenticians. They are barriers to keep us trapped and keep us into that self-imposed jail cell called low self-esteem. For example, Let me use me as an example. I can tell you because I can relate to it. Because some of us, most of us have mental breakdown, but probably it is not as severe as a Lisa Hyper. You get me? Let me use me as an example. You know, as a kid, them tell us your mother and your father, and your mother and your father call their days may be long. So even if your mother and your father abuse you, and done you, and do you all kind of things, hear the Bible verse in your head, and thy mother forgive, all of that. And not forgive them for teach boundaries in schools. It doesn't mean that because you're my mother or my father, it means that you must take advantage of me. I had to set boundaries for myself and get my father out of the way. Anything that is hurting you or harming you, get it out of the way. Remove the titles. See people for who they are and not who you want them to be. Because society have a thing where say, if you're a mother, the mother is only the mother. What are your mother? She bring a comment. It doesn't mean that she's your mother. And look here, there's a disclaimer. Me and my mother have a very good relationship. I'm just using examples. My mother and I, we have a very good relationship. My mother can call me, we can talk for hours on the phone, we laugh. Sometimes she annoy me and me annoy her, but that's my mother. We have a very good relationship. Don't get me wrong. My father, on the other hand, him doesn't hinder me, so me stay far. So let me use the father scenario. So what I do, I set boundaries for myself because he told me that he was not into me. I'm not going to be like, honor thy mother and thy father, forgive. No, forgive, but I'm going to set boundaries. We don't set boundaries for our life. Society, and you can't only blame society. When I say society, I'm not talking about the politician. I mean society at large, people at large, how we were raised, how we were taught to live. Society don't know nothing. Them don't know your pain. So we have follow these scriptures and we start feel guilty if we decide, say, I hear me, I stay far from my mother and my father. I stay far from the uncle and the this and that and all of them people there who abuse me and so forth. I remember I confronted my abuser, you know. There was somebody who wanted to rape me, you know. But he never get the chance to do it. And I confront my abuser and go up in his face and make him know. I was so afraid of him. He took my power away to the point that when I see him, I'm afraid, even though the rape never go on, I'm afraid of him. You get what I say? Because he took my power away. Every time I see my heart start beat fast, I start feel afraid. Come here and say, I start feel timid. And I confront him and I go to him and I say to him, say, look here, let me tell you what I said to him. I said, I come to talk to you. And I look up at him and I said to him, you know what you do to me? Looking at him face and tell him, him head start holding on my head up. And I said to him, you know what you do to me, you know what you do. You see that what you do to me? But that's why I make you know, say me forgive you. But hear that piece here. Because of that situation, it made me made bad decisions for my life, but I'm going to make them no more. And he was like, never mind, never mind. I said, but everything good still. And I walk away. A lot of us are not going to be brave enough to confront our abusers. And that's okay. But maybe because of the fight and the warrior within me, make me do that. Because I can be confrontational. And I did that and I reclaim my power and I never look at that individual. When that individual see me, them all upon, morning Simone, all hold on them head. Because you took back your power, you claim your inner self-confidence, you reclaim it. That's why I'm always talking about these things. I think some of us get up and talk about topic because topic's sake. You don't long me talk about authenticity. A friend of mine remind me when I was in high school, so me used to love say, Lord God, you know, say me like real people. Me like when people real and so me can't bother with the fakeness or whatever. Them time I never used to use the word authenticity. But as you go along, you understand that that is the word for it. Authenticity. Being real, being true. What do you think authenticity is about? Not wearing makeup, not wearing false hair. That's not authentic. That is the authentic image. But I'm talking about your authenticity from your core, where you stand for, where you say, I eat your belief, I eat your everything, where you say, I eat your stand for. You cannot rehearse authenticity. And a lot of us, self-worth buried under that childhood trauma because we keep on going back to the abuser. We keep on going back to what feels familiar. When you go back to the abuser, you damage yourself, you interrupt your healing. She interrupted her healing because according to her, the person abuser, so her abuser was locked away for 13 years, according to her. But when him come back, she went back to the abuser. Wait, no, it affect her more. Watch his story, no, it affect her more. What happened to me? My abuser abused me, which was my father, who emotionally abused me. My house was burnt down and run me. Him and him woman them pass bad remarks. And I left. And I made a word that I was not going to talk to him again. And here comes society, scripture coming on my head. Honor thy mother and thy father. So when him call and apologize, I forgive him. And I let him in, but that was the mistake. I should have forgive, but set boundaries. I didn't set any boundaries. I let him in, and what he did, interrupted my healing. So till him evil, ending up disrespecting my family in the sense of saying, me and you are a family, and him and him family, and even Javaya heard it. So because of what I did, it spill over on my child and hurt my child. So I said, no, me have to set boundaries. And I set boundaries. And what was the boundaries? Stay away from him, don't call my phone. Because he never used to do that before, so stay away from me. That's why when my article came out and they called and want to get disrespect me, that for put them in a them place. Even the sister the other day send one message, send one sitting come and apologize. Apology accepted, access denied, set boundaries. Stay away from these people where I hurt you. These people don't mean you no good. And I'm going to use scenarios. Here is a scenario. Let's say you go to doctor and the doctor tells you you have diabetes. I have to stay away from starchy food and stay away from East Indian mangoes, stay away from eating a lot of mangoes, eat it in proportional. And then go eat one heap of mango, and it go spike up diabetes, run up your blood pressure when you look at get a heart attack. The doctor know why tell us to stay away from these foods. So even though some foods might healthy in societal norms, some persons really cannot eat tomato, some persons really cannot eat corn, some people cannot eat callaloo, it will affect them. As much as what them say green leafy vegetables. So the doctor tell you to stay away from these food. Is the doctor telling you say for bitter because you stay away from the food? You eat the yam because you stay away from the yam? No, you're setting boundaries for your health. So you stay away from the yam that is destroying you. You stay away from the salt that is destroying your blood pressure. Do you hate the salt? No, you don't. But you have to set boundaries and limit yourself because it is damaging you. You eat some cheese. Doctor say, be careful when you eat the cheese because it irritates your sinus and it gives you an infection and make your nose bleed. What you're going to do, stay away from the cheese. Does it mean that you eat the cheese? No, you don't eat the cheese. You like the cheese, but the cheese is destroying you, so you have to stay away. It's the same thing. We have some spiritual diabetes, some spiritual blood pressure, some spiritual sinus, some spiritual diseases that is embedded in human. So some persons give you diabetes. So you have to stay away from them. Some spiritual diabetes, I'm talking. Some persons spiritual hypertension, spiritual sinus, spiritual illnesses. Stay away from them. You ever to argue with somebody and somebody does get on top of your nerves, the head start hurt at the same time? Yes, they're affecting your health mentally and your brain psychologically. So staying away from your mother who beat you, abused you, wasn't there for you in your childhood, it doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you're setting boundaries for yourself. You're building your self-esteem. But society guilt us and tell us not to do it because honor thy mother and thy father. And they did not put a lot of emphasis that say, parents don't provoke your children to wrath. We're in relationships, we believe say the people them who beat and abuse, you know how much people must get beat and abused from man. And the man sick and them want to help the man, bring back the man on him foot and the man hurt them again. You have to know what you're doing. Because the abuser want to have power over you. The abusers are narcissistic people. They have narcissistic gene inside of them. They were battered themselves and they never heal and they project that onto you. Move away the title. He's my mother, he's my sister, he's my brother, he's my father, he's my uncle, he's my husband, he's my baby father, he's my this, he's my that. The abuser don't care about you. You are the only one I say, y'all make excuse for them. Oh, you know, say, him is a nice person in the world. When me see him stay, so I know say I never him and the devil control him. No, it's him. But we're afraid to see it because we are Stockholm syndrome make you afraid to see. So sometimes you ever hear some people say, how would that man there do with that girl? Look what she do him. Disrespect him and so forth. Childhood trauma because when he grow up, his mother never rate him. His mother treat him bad, so him go back to what is familiar. Sometimes if you look at your relationship, the message say it resemble your childhood, you know. Yes, it do in some ways. You hear a woman look good, shape good, nice, pretty. I wish I knew that the boy they beat her and all of them. Look at something. Look what them do. It resembles a child when I was talking to a girl one day. And she said to me, the reason why she talk to man were abusive. When she look into it, I was even getting her to tap into herself. It was long time ago. Watch her. This is from when Javaya go at Eric Basic School before me even come out and start go at any event. I was talking to her and she even said to me, say, girl, you know, so you're good, you can teach people, coach people, all of them something that she was saying to me. And she was explaining a situation and saying that her father always box her and beat her. And she said, so if my father always box me and beat me, that means any man can box me and beat me too. You see what I'm talking about? But we have this thing where we are say, oh, society, and we feel like we are going dead, we're going dead anyway. Whether you forgive or you not forgive, forgive anyway, forgiveness don't mean you have to let him back the person. So we are going to know, let him back the yam now and say, oh God, I must respect nature. God made the yam, God made the sea salt. I must respect the corn. I'm going to eat it because I'm going to forgive the corn for giving me the diabetes, and I'm going to keep on putting it in my body until I drop down dead. Which, as I said, well, we are dead. But better you're dead knowing that you stood your ground. You give birth to your worth. A lot of us don't have any self-worth because it's very right under the status quo, your childhood trauma and the cultural programming. Some want to call people nerd because through the man not willing for boxing on the face. I don't want a nerd. I don't want a man who reading a book and the nerd control the world. And the nerd build the technology. Steve Jobs is a nerd. Not for the car them or the drive, not for the little things they want to have a nerd build them. And the nerd are the educators. God himself come like him is a nerd. I have to build all of the little things that we build with him creative genius mind. We don't want a nerd, we don't want the culture program, we don't want this and that, the man look the man kicking up, a treat in the body, and start second for less. You understand what I mean? A relationship. Oh, I am the top one when they bring in all kind of picnic coming at the house and I disrespect you, but guess what, man? The cultural programming on the self-worth gone. Me tell you something, my authenticians. You see what I do? Me genuinely love what I do. I do it unconsciously without me even knowing back then. And my mission is to help create a generation of high self-esteem individual. Get back on the self-worth to reclaim on the inner self-confidence. And love and accept on yourself for the real honor, the real love, the real way where God wants you to live. The pastor can't save you. Nobody can really save you. Only you can save yourself. You can't hear. You can't take somebody information. When I say, I'm probably looking at it for yourself. But looking at your life and see. If I even one time for the day, tapping at yourself and say, wait there. You know, say what Queen I say, it can make sense. It might not make sense to everybody. I know you have some persons, they are very sensitive. Because some persons don't really understand until later on. You know, say, you have people where unfollow you and never pay attention to your content. You know, take with the subscription and then later on them come back and follow you and take back the subscription because something happened to them in their life where they did say, find the trigger. Why is it that when Queen say what she say, me vex? Ask that. We don't ask ourselves questions. Me have to ask myself, why is it that me always go back to my father when he abused me? Emotionally abuse me, not beat me emotionally. And then hear that quote here coming in my head, and I die mother and die. Set boundaries. You have a brother, all right, me ask you a question. You don't let in a raper man in your house if you know him is a raper man. If you know that man is a raper man, you have a beautiful daughter, or have a daughter in your house. You don't let in that man? No, why you not let him in? Because he's a raper man. You set boundary. Don't come near me, he's a raper man. You also have fathers that are raper man. You also have women who are raper woman. You never know that? So you have women who molest them son. These things is in society, them are buried. And I want let them now want to come talk about it. With childhood trauma, we go too much batterment or much abuse. You ever notice that sometimes things when you liquor, for example, you have Chippies banana chips. You grow up on Chippies banana chips. And some are afraid for transition over St. Mary and Nice's. And the St. Mary tastes better than the Chippies, you know. But I used to. Everywhere we go, we carry everything. We want go far. We want about the seasoning them. We season up a plate. Season up a pot and make it meat taste good. You know? We want about the long time anchor butter them. We want about the long time music them we used to have before. How when the music did that damage you. How when the music I tell you if you go kill your brother, your sister, if you go kill, we want it back the way it make you feel. And you know, one transition I say, yo, let me listen to some jazz music. Let me listen to some different kind of music for see. But because we are used to a certain kind of thing, it is hard for us to transition. That's why them say, when you go your picnic, put them in an environment that are more meaningful. Not so them not going to make mistake or anything like that. Because guess what? Oh, you train them from them little the environment where them grow up, them going to carry with them until them have to purge it out. Are we saying that we are that we are perfect? We are not. We still have things, but if on a daily basis you can tap into self and look in yourself. Me can tell you, so when me get upset about something, but we get defensive and stand. And sometimes I say, Queen, you know, say never have to go answer over a situation. Me, I say to myself, you know, one of me hear somebody say one of the hardest thing you have to work on is yourself. It's easier to point the finger outside. We don't look within. That's why I said mistakes are the building block for self-awareness and self-acceptance. What do you mean by that, Queen? What I mean is that when you make a mistake, you look into it and you become more self-aware. And then when you're self-aware, you own it and accept it and say, hey, this is what happened. And then you go and do something about it. It's not about reading a lot of books. It's not about going to a lot of events. It's about how can I make my life better? Not perfect, better. Because you still have challenges along the way. You still have your imperfection, but I'm talking about as it relates to building your self-worth and your self-esteem, setting boundaries. And Wednesdays is Kingman Day off. And I tell people that anytime nobody call me, I get upset with them. And you see, because of that, them do, sometimes I don't answer my phone, I cut them off. You see, because of that, people not call me Panda Day. Because I set boundaries. You have to be careful who you allow for coming in your space. You have to set boundaries for them in the sense of, look here, I don't work today, don't call my phone. You know, like things like that. You know, something like about, for example, most of us go to work from Monday to Friday. The store lock pa, the place, we want to work, close over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, right? So even that have a boundary. You don't work 2 days. You set the same boundary for yourself too. Today is Sunday, me I put my rice and peas, don't call my phone. Today is Sunday, me have my child, me I go to church, don't call my phone. You set boundaries and listen, you have persons that were going to test you. You have some person them that respect boundary, none at all. If you say to them, say, listen, today is Sunday, do not call me 8 o'clock in the morning because I have to go to church. Them still are going to call you. Because some persons suffer from abandonment. They believe that you telling them that. Don't call me 8 o'clock. It make them feel like, say, I ignore, shall try ignore me, not like, should I like me. No, that is how deep-rooted her self-esteem get damaged. Somebody said to you, say, listen, I'm going to an event tomorrow. Don't call me at this time because I have something to do. I'm getting married on this day. Do not call me. I'll be doing my makeup. Them still a call. Them suffer from, sometimes they suffer from abandonment or they don't respect people's space. A man might outside look at a woman and he would say to her, do not call my phone at a certain time. She call it and put her in her place. She say, I like him, I like me, or something like that. No, he's setting boundaries. When you have self-worth, you start set boundaries. So if Lisa Hyper had set boundaries for her life, even if the individual that she said abused her, it is alleged that she said the individual abused her, she wouldn't have let him in back in her space. And that's a perfect example of how you interrupt your healing when you let in the abuser. The abuser will never respect you or value you because you don't value yourself. So even when Mr. Rodney's wife called before me say, hey, butt out of this and go away. Butt out. Me I set boundaries. Know your space. Go away. Allow this. Set boundaries. The abusers don't care. The abuser like when you're weak. And the titles that we hold in terms of mother, father, all of that. What do you think will happen? We use those things. Me and your mother, me and your father, me and your auntie. I made it like a food and time I did angry. I need this and that and wait. That don't mean so because you give me something, it means that you must do any and anything with me and take advantage of me. Probably in Lisa Hyper's childhood, she was abused. Because she talk about even rape. Those things are trauma. Those things is not good on the mind. A lot of person when you see mad out their mental health. Kingman was telling me that him see this man and him mad. And him the outer road, homeless. And say how much him spend all him life, take care of him, picnic and him family. And them no look upon him, them run him down, sit down on the streets. And them think they cause mental illness. You mash up your brain, mash up. And see how people use and take advantage. That's why you have to set boundary. Let's say him set boundaries and say, all right, I'm going to take care of my kids, them, but I'm going to go off for my purpose too. I'm going to build a company, I'm going to build this, and I'm going to build that. When them gone now, you know, him still going to have something for fall back pan, but him take a whole light and put in at them. Him never set boundaries for himself. So even though Java is there and I love her, I also have my boundaries when me set me still go off for my mission. So she has see that, so she for set boundaries for herself as well. You have parents from your liquor, them borrow your money, them not give you back your money, you ask for it. Suppose me did lock my foot and kill you. They are guilting you. For you don't ask them for nothing because them feel them for take advantage. Them don't want to respect the child for say, you know, some borrow the child $100 and the child $300 and all of these things. Friends do it to them, take advantage of you. You know some people stay. Them will borrow your money or them supposed to pay you for do something. And they would be like, I true me have some bills with me that for pay. Them owe you long time before them buy all the shoes the way them go trust. Them owe you long time before them go trust the dresser. From courts, you know. But here them have to pay your courts. You know why? Because court set boundary. Every month you have to pay a certain amount. You hear you know. It's okay. Deep down inside, they say, hey, me want me money. Deep down inside, you want that money, you know. But here, it's okay because remember me and your friend. Look here, I need my money. Long before you trust your dresser from court, you borrowed from me. You understand? And if if you borrow somebody money and I get for pay it, you can't say to them, say, you know, me not get for me was supposed to pay it today. Me I wait on some money, me not get it. The only money me take when me borrow from people, unless the person tell me if keep the money. And even though the person tell me if keep the money, deep down inside, me still I say to myself, so when me see them, I'll pay them back their money. You understand what I mean? Because the principle is principle. Remember, I'm a girl her money, I'm a call her, I'm a say to her, I say, send me a bank account, let me send it. She said, me for take it. She said, me for take it. And even though she said me for take it, me still about her, I tell her, I say, yo, me want to pay your money. She said, that cool queen. That different. And she never tell me, say, me take it because me owe her for long. No, she never said that. But some of us, we only nice to some people. Like, for example, if a big heads borrow your money, you're afraid for go upon them and thing. One time, one lady owe me some money and I put her in her place and thing. And she go, me say, hey, keep that. And I don't look upon her. I tell her to keep that. Make she go out with that. I say, keep it. And I just ignore her and not even look upon her. Say, boundaries, she can't see me and call to me again. So we need to set boundaries for everything in our life. You don't allow anybody for coming in your house, come throw dust in your house, a random stranger just come in and throw dust. You don't want to your yard and people are disturb your peace. No, you have to have a level of respect. But enough of us, we don't have it because we done program already. So when we say the titles, we must frighten for them and we not set boundaries because we are blinded by the titles. Trauma bonding is not love. It's destruction. You hear it name? Trauma bond. It's not real love. That's why I see some people go back and rekindle the old relationship but it damaged them years ago. Because it feel familiar and them afraid for start over. And them always want back that man they will stay. I'm gonna tell you something. Trauma bonding is one dangerous thing. You know, so you have woman where they like, so you have some woman, a lot of women them love them with bad man. And a lot of times, some of the bad man them beat them and abuse them. You see, sometimes when them and the bad man they left, them pick up a guy where we da call soft guy. And them even train that man to be like the bad man for beat them. Them all, the man a beat woman, you know. And them all a drape up the man and a box him. For the man box them because it feels familiar. Instead I look on it and say, you know, so the guy really love me. The guy really respect me, you know. The guy really, you know, we take care of me. No, them see it as I'm softy. The man not soft, the man love you, but you're not familiar with love. You're familiar with abuse and beating. See him with man, you ever yet hear some woman a deal with some man certain way? And them run, and the man a run go back to the woman, and the woman no respect him. She take him friend, she take him brother, all of them something there and so on. Him still a go back. Trauma bond because guess why? His mother treat him bad, beat him all kind of something and him abuse. And here some of them love make excuse. At one time she ever cheat. At one time, I saw the way I'm talking, I make excuse for them. You know why? Because of her low self-worth. I don't want to stand. So Lisa Hyper situation is a good example. And I'm not going to condemn her because anything can happen to anybody. I see all woman. We love to talk about woman empowerment, a bashar. Anything can happen to anybody at any given time. Mental illness real. Enough time I see some people do some things like that. Sometimes I see some people in a pretty clothes. I feel say almost the entire Jamaica have mental illness. I when them in them jacket suit, uptown, downtown, all around town. It's just that some person have more self-control than some. So we have to know what we are do. Letting people in your space, you damage your kids, you damage your family. All something you rekindle. You can't go back for your old shoes them you used to wear when you're a baby, when you're 2 years old. Can it still fit you? The person them where hurt you can't fit you anymore. I mean, the shoes it hurt you, you know. But you want to force your foot in something where can't fit you. No force yourself in a people who don't like you. Like who like you. Looking on yourself, my authenticians. Looking on yourself. I remember when this lady, when I used to work at Go, where she said the greatest thing you can do for your child is build them self-esteem. Are they going to fail? Yes. But give them the tools to make them understand. When they make mistake, when they disappoint, when they not get the all A's. Don't make them feel less than. Because sometimes people are different in different areas, different subjects. Me can tell you, so when me get my report, I get all 40 in a maths. 20% in a maths. So me didn't know some long time, so maths was not me, it wasn't my thing. But it no means I can calculate and divide other things in life, but probably not numbers. I'm not good with numbers. And I understand that. But me not gonna feel less than because you better than me and math. It not gonna make me feel less. A girl did want to try and make me feel less. She said I was a dunce back girl because I don't like math. And I wasn't good in math. But I can be good in something else. When it come on to, like, for example, English, and like me did good in a like principles of business, principles of account. Yeah, not really great in it, but me good in a English, me good in a drama, entertainment, things like that. Me good in a literature, I could write poem. I still can write poem, I can write songs, all of these things. Me good in a them kind of little something there. But she can be good in math, but not good in English. But it doesn't make you less than. So stop comparing yourself to somebody else's thing. I tell you now, even social media, stop comparing your offline failures to somebody online success. Anybody can come online and do anything and write anything and caption everything. A man who killed himself was dancing. In last post was him dancing and skinning him teeth and him kill himself the same night when him post that something, him kill himself. So some things are just facade. Everybody was shocked. Oh, he's always happy. He's always dancing. And then the man have depression all along and kill himself. So we are looking at these things and seeing it as, oh, you know, a lot of persons out there have mental illness. They are on antidepressants. They're on pills. You don't know what people, you don't know what they might go through. But if you check them life, you realize that enough of it come from the childhood trauma. It come from the trauma. I know it feel. I used to want to fit in with people and want to be in a certain groups and things like that. Back then, when them are, you understand what I mean? Back in the day and all these things, was afraid to stand up. No, that's why I'm afraid. You have to say me aggressive. You have to say me this. You have to say me that. Every now and then it will chip in back then. But then you remind yourself, say, hey, you know, say if you want the righteous or so and so. No, me just start say the Lord is my light and my salvation. And the Lord is my shepherd, I shall never want. When one door closed, the next one open. You have to birth the warrior in you. The spiritual gangster in you. You see which part I live right now? We are going to move. It's this week. And I remember when me and Kingma, we stand up to the landlord's son. We come here. We stand up and whenever we were unapologetic about it. We stand up. And I said the only thing the individual can do is give us notice. I'm not going to apologize. And the only thing that, because it's good, better, best, and guess what, authenticians, we get somewhere that we always wanted. Because right here, we're going to settle and then decide if we're going to buy a house. Right here, we will say, all right, we're not going to move. We're going to settle. But then things happen. But where we're going now, I know that it's a settling ground for us. And everything that I've written down, that is what I got. Even when me that come here, the things them where Kingman did war, him did really want certain things. And we got it. But it's time for us to move on. It can easy for say, but not in a lie, right here so nice because of complacency. We become complacent. And we think that this is the best thing. When better things are out there. And this is a nice place, don't get me wrong. I like it. But it's time for me to move on. And if we never take the step and the leap of faith and go out there, we would have not have gotten something better and greater. So it's good, better, best. So I see them with we're in some space, we're in something because we have low self-worth. We stay there. Me go on my event them. And if me find out so you not rate me, I move from beside of you or so me stay. If they don't rate me, I go somewhere else. That's how it go. That's how it work. You can try, you can test, you can text somebody, you can ask them something, them don't give a favor. You don't worry. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Who shall I fear? And the Lord is my shepherd, I shall never want. Some of us go back to relationship for money. Some of us can make the money for ourselves, you know, but we are go back for money. And if your value is attached to that, hey, that's a one thing where your money not attached, your value not attached to, you know. That money is something there. Yes, love money, the whole of it, because money for pay with bill. But you see, if somebody can assist them, can use shilling and sell you out and buy out, remember me tell them I'm going to use it till the end. They're going to use it till the end. You have ex-boyfriend will come. My authenticians, don't make them tell us, say, you remember back in the days when time I used to carry to the movie? Say to them, say, no, I remember when they give me $10 in my face. Yeah, you understand what I mean? You hear a woman come, hey, you know, say one thing with you, I can't give you away, no? Because you were my, you were my one to really take care of me and take care of family. Yes, you remember that? Yes, I remember when you did cheat on me and you disrespect me and you take my best friend and get him pregnant and give me a jacket. You don't start the truth. Because they're going to come back, you know. The narcissist and the abuser will come back in your ears and remind you about some things, some good things. But you must always remember what made you leave. You understand what I mean? It's hard, you know. Oh my God, it's hard because some of we have soft heart. Sometimes the man, them bit so nice. When them come and start talk to you and lick all them lip 2 times, we body start tremble. Some of the woman, them was so sexy. Them have some seduction thing when them talk. Hey, sweetie. And yeah, remember that. And you know, remember say the 3 pitney them where she bring for you where your mind was jacket. And you know, remember say the boy hurt you and beat you and treat you bad. You know, remember say your parent them did give away, treat you bad like dog, never care about you. True, them are dead now, them are come to you now for help and I come and tell you about another mother and all of them something they never remember say parent don't provoke your children to rot. So building yourself for it don't mean say you hate people and you go around and go say, hey, go away, move from me, so go away, devil. All you do is just set boundary. That's all you're doing, you know. Them should teach us in school. Forgiveness is one thing. But we turn forgiveness into something different. We believe that once you forgive the person for running back, no. And I running if for running. If the person is not worthy of letting in, if the person don't prove themselves to be worthy of letting in, don't come back. Of course, you have persons where genuinely like you, genuinely love you, but they mess up. And of them people that me attacking, you know, where genuinely, you know, you have some people like, you know, you have a misunderstanding with them. Them never really hurt you to know cause of some like a misunderstanding in a relationship. Your husband have a misunderstanding, and so that different from if a man bring in a girl coming in your house in front of your face and beat you in front of the woman and run you in front of the woman. That a different something, you know. That man they for go about in business, you know. You have persons where you and them never end on a bad note, but you can't agree certain way. So, you know, I am by or whatever. You have parents who make some little mistake, but them never damage a certain way. Them be dead fear and all of that. And them me talk about the one them never want you when they fear. Use you, run you when you want help in your small time. Them when you want a little help, them never dead fear. And them one them me talk about. The man will beat you, treat you bad, all of them something they abuse you. When you're pregnant, him kick out the belly out of you. You know, the girl will use you. Go back to her ex, treat your body, you take care of her, she take away your money, thief your money, lick your mother. And you know, you understand what I mean? I'm talking about scenarios where people hurt you, where you know in yourself that the person that did hurt you and treat you bad. You have woman where letting man come in at the house and the house, the man beat the pitney, beat for the pitney them, pump them up and abuse them. These are the things I'm talking about. Me not talk say me and you are friend and me and you have a little disagreement about something now we done. Me never abuse you, never abuse you. We just have a disagreement. But I'm talking about those wounds, my authenticians. Those wounds were hurt so bad. Don't let them in. Seem like if you have a cut and each time you peel the cut, it bleed. Each time you put your hand on it and tear off the scalp, it bleed. But if you leave it alone and make it go on, you see it heal and disappear. Don't look at titles. Look at your worth. Yeah, we love the yam. Doctor says stay far from it, stay far from the rice. Same way spiritual diabetes. Some people are salt. Some people are blood pressure. Some people are AIDS. Some people are all kind of things. You know, the spiritual realm me I talk about. Yeah, man. With self-worth. With sense of self. With authenticity. With self-esteem. Buried under with childhood trauma, the status quo and the cultural programming. Go back to yourself. Get back in on yourself. Me a fight for no, me a cheer for no, cause me know how it feel. Yeah, man, my authenticians. So I hope this touch somebody. Somebody can share this with people because this is a universal message, you know. Thank you for all those who like, subscribe, comment, share on the thoughts. Doesn't really matter. This movement and this mission has to go on. Some authenticians, when I get ready to go pack up the rest of things them now for move to the new direction. So have an authentic life. God bless you. And I salute the authenticity in you all. Mwah.